Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Lock, and this is the first podcast of Skeptic Wars, and I am going to try to make this at least a weekly thing. And this is where I talk about some of my favorite stories that have been posted on Skeptic Wars um, through throughout the week, the and I'm just going to get right into it and start with the first one I want to start with is this whole situation with Myles Power. He's his channel looks like it might end up being taken down because of 4 DMCA takedown notices. And by his channel I mean his YouTube channel. 4 DMCA takedown notices by Martin Penny and Knowledge Matters LLC. Now Martin Penny is one of the executive producers, and I believe one of the financiers, and of the movie, if you can call it a movie, House of Numbers. And Knowledge Matters LLC is the company that made the movie House of Numbers. And what House of Numbers is a movie, again, if you can call it that, that's basically a giant AIDS denialist film. It's been heavily criticized by both the science and medical community. And Myles Power, a couple of months ago, started making a series of mini films debunking House of Numbers, and he basically made 5 parts, and he hasn't made any more since because of this whole DMCA situation. The first DMCA takedown notification was not given by Martin Penny. It was actually given by one of the, quote, investigative journalists in the film, Leon Shift. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Anyways, he calls himself an investigative journalist. I wouldn't call him an investigative journalist. But he sent a DMCA takedown notice against Myles Powers, because Myles had used, I believe, maybe a couple of minutes of clips from Liam's own YouTube channel, and Myles has fair use. He has fair use for all of this, but Liam says it wasn't fair use. It was, quote, stolen from him, which he had been making. And by the way, Liam went on to Myles' Facebook page, which I'll have a link to below. He basically went on to Myles' Facebook page, and he started harassing him, and through the harassment and the absolutely horrible names he was calling Myles, he was insisting that Myles had stolen his material from his page, and basically put it in the 5th part without permission. In fact, the 5th part of Myles' debunking started this. And a couple days later, about 2 or 3 days later, Liam retracted the takedown notice, and at first I thought maybe it was because he realized he didn't have fair use or maybe he was being extremely criticized. I don't know why. But as it turns out, Martin Penny and Knowledge Matters LLC was taking down mirrors of the fifth video that had been going up like only a few hours after the fifth part was originally taken down. And so there's some suspicion that maybe Liam and Martin Penny and Knowledge Matters LLC may have been in on this. I personally don't believe this. I think maybe Liam might have actually felt that what he was doing was wrong, or maybe he was put under pressure. I don't know why he retracted his DMCA takedown from Myles, but unfortunately, now that Myles has 4 takedown notices, unless Myles decides to fight it, and which would mean having to give his personal information, or at least going through a third party, pretty much his page is going to be taken down. And Myles doesn't want to give out his personal information to Martin Penny and Knowledge Matters LLC because he's afraid of harassment in real life, which could very well happen. For what I've seen from HIV denialist in the past few days, you know, some of them don't appear to be all there, to be quite honest. So, pretty much, I support Myles 100% of the way. I really hope his page doesn't get taken down. I really hope he decides to fight this, but fight it in his own way. And skeptics across YouTube and actually across the internet have been fighting this in our way. We've been downloading all of his movies and re-uploading at least the House of Numbers movies. In fact, one of his friends, Science of Sarcasm, and I'll have a link to his website in the About page, has already put all 5 of these debunking House of Numbers films, movies, whatever you want to call them, on Dailymotion, and you know, and also on his own website. And you can go to his website, or you can go to Dailymotion, and you can find all 5 films. Alright, moving on. Now I want to talk about the Ken Ham versus Bill Nye creation versus evolution debate. And without a doubt, and Bill Nye won. And this isn't just simply my personal opinion. This is the opinion of people who have been voting in polls. I think there was one poll on a very famous Christian website asking its viewers who won that debate, and they said that Bill Nye won the debate. And I'm not sure if Bill Nye won the debate within the first 5 minutes of himself speaking, or if Bill Nye won the debate within the first 5 minutes of Ken Ham speaking. And I think I only watched about half of the debate, if I'm looking at the time log right for the YouTube video. And to be quite honest, not only did Ken Ham lose the debate, not only did Bill Nye prove why evolution is right, or at least scientifically valid, Ken Ham just gave the biggest reason why creationism, or its scientific counterpart, intelligent design, should not be taught in school, and that ultimately it is based on religion, and that ultimately is based on the Christian religion. And I have no problems with teaching creationism, but do it on your own time. Go to a church and learn about creationism there, or you can do it at home. You can go to Ken Ham's website, which I will probably also have a link to, and learn about creationism yourself, or at least his version of it if you want to. Alright, moving on. Let's see now here. The food industry is going to start labeling, certain food manufacturers are going to start labeling their foods as GMOs. I posted this on February 6th. The food industry is going to start labeling their food as GMOs, but on their terms. Apparently, they're just trying to what's happening is that all across the country, these people, these anti-GMO people, are trying to put up these laws, are trying to get these laws passed through state legislators that require companies to list whether or not their food is GMO, which is kind of stupid because most food is GMO. In fact, technically speaking, unless you go out and pick wild berries and fruits and vegetables and whatever and go hunt for your own food, all food is actually technically GMO because we've had domestication, crossbreeding for thousands of years, so it's only been probably within the last 20 or 30 years that we've been directly genetically modifying our food. But in this article by National Public Radio, companies are just going to start labeling their foods as GMO themselves and putting on the information voluntarily. And, to be quite honest, I have no problem with this. If a company wants to tell you that their foods have been genetically modified a little, what's the problem? I mean, it's not going to stop me from eating their food, and I'm, at this point in time, I'm actually anti-organic food. I don't want to eat, organic food. I want to eat good old regular GMO food, except when it comes to Chipotle's, because Chipotle's make some damn good burritos. Okay, I can't help myself. Alright, the next story, in South Dakota, a bill that was designed to teach intelligent design in schools has been killed, and a good thing too. I mean, again, intelligent design, it's all pretty much religiously based. There's absolutely no reason for such a bill to ever be around. Alright, and listen out here. Next one. This is by Quartz, and it's demand for traditional Chinese medicine is killing off the world's quirkiest animal, and by quirkiest, it's something called pangolins. Uh, looks like a crossbreed between a armadillo and an artichoke. And what's happening is that these creatures are being killed in China for traditional Chinese medicine, what I would call alternative medicine. And whether or not, and it's being claimed that the blood and body parts from them can cure asthma, cancer, and of course reproductive problems. In other words, if you can't get it up, these things will allow you to get it up, or if you can't have a kid, these things will allow you to have a kid. Oh, and it's also supposed to enhance virility, which is, I suppose the one part about not being able to get it up. It's not been proven, and it's like with any alternative medicine. It makes horrendously huge amounts of claims, and none of it works. And in this case, it's leading to the possible extinction of what I say would be a very cute-looking species of animal. This is just... I mean, there's two victims here. There's the people who take the alternative medicine that's made from these creatures, and there's the creatures themselves. And hopefully this will be stopped. Alright, next one is... let's see now here. Oh yes, recent Skinwalker photo ignites fear in New Mexico. A recent photo had been circulating around the internet about an alleged Skinwalker, which is sort of a kind of a legend to the Native American groups around that area. And as it turns out, this Skinwalker is actually from like a B film from the 1980s. This Skinwalker photo, I mean, is from a B film from the 1980s. Somebody just took a still and enhanced it and kind of made it look like it was shot from a infrared camera. But as one of my commenters on the Skeptic Wars Facebook page pointed out, the thing has a shadow, and infrared cameras do not cast shadows, and so obviously it's a fake. I mean, he didn't even have to read the article to know it was a fake. He just had to look at the photo. Well, kudos to him. Alright, another one. This is from one of my favorite bloggers, Skeptical Raptor. Religious exemptions for vaccination, abuse, and reform. And basically this is just talking about how people who don't want to vaccinate their children, which it's sort of like HIV denialism. It's extremely stupid, and it's very, very dangerous. In fact, I personally consider anti-vaccination to be more dangerous than AIDS denialism. Of course, you can argue that AIDS denialism is more dangerous, but I personally think that anti-vaccination is more dangerous. It basically talks about how people lie about their religious beliefs in order to exempt their children from having to be vaccinated. And the whole reason is because of the fear that their kid might become autistic if they get vaccinated, which has not been proven and in fact has been proven to be completely and totally false, and the whole thing is based off of a fraudulent study by Andrew Wakefield back in 1997 that was retracted and resulted in him having his name struck from the British Medical Registry, which is essentially the equivalent of having your medical license revoked here. Alright, and let's see now here. Oh, and here's one more by, hold on. Oh, Prince George's police to transfer photo lineups, and basically, the whole photo lineup thing is, they're in, this is about, Prince George's County, in, I believe, North Carolina, I think. What's going on is that they're finding that their current the way they do photo lineups is very flawed. It has a huge amount of error to it, and they're basically just going to transform it, which is a very good thing, in my opinion. Alright, Oh, and the last one is well, actually, I got two more last ones. These are about viral photos. This first one is about a photo being circulated around the internet about a whale that allegedly swallowed an entire Saudi Arabian family, and it's just a hoax. There's just it looks like a picture of a whale, and I have no doubt it's a beach whale, but it wasn't swallowed. It didn't swallow a family of Saudi Arabian citizens. In fact, it would probably be impossible for a whale to, at least, it would have to be a big whale in order to swallow an entire family, and most of the big whales aren't predatory whales. They just eat krill and stuff like that. And so, this thing, it's fake. And the final one concerns photos from the Olympics in Russia. And what it is that these 8 viral Sochi Olympics photos that are total lies. I've got at least 2 of them posted on my own Skeptic Wars page. The first one shows a picture of a toilet that's halfway in a wall, lengthways, and it was actually an art project. It's fake. Another one that shows allegedly Russian translated into ice cream in the, well, you'll have to see it for yourself. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's actually ice cream in the accessories, or no, excuse me, assortment. And that's just the result of bad translation. I doubt they really realized what it meant. Alright, so oh yeah, one more thing. Loch Ness Monster hasn't been spotted for the first time since 1925. I mean, it's not like, actually, I would say Loch Ness Monster hasn't been spotted at all, ever. I think they're all been just either bogus lies or misinterpretations. Maybe they saw something, they thought it was Nessie and it wasn't. But basically, Nessie hasn't been seen in a year, so maybe Nessie finally died, or maybe people are finally realizing that Nessie doesn't exist. So that's it for this first podcast of Skeptic Wars. So thank you, and I do hope you keep going back and listening. Goodbye, everyone.